Hey, welcome back. So, I just met somebody for lunch that I met on eHarmony. It wasn't really a date like last time because I already kind of told her that, well, let's be friends or whatever. But I just want to talk about the experience. I'm not crying this time, so that's a step in the right direction, right? So I just wanted to debrief a little bit. So before I went, I did feel like that feeling that I always feel, which is this nervousness and like I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. Why did I make myself do this? But I am now able to overcome that, I guess. I just kind of telling myself when I was driving there, like, this is life. That feeling in your gut is life. It feels bad, but I know what the alternative is, and it's just emptiness. It's depression and apathy, and so I need to like kind of embrace that feeling a little bit. That feeling of just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to meet a person. So I did it, and I went, and it was, well, I got there at 1, and we left, they closed at 3, so then we left at 3, and I was like, I told her, like, oh, if you wanted to walk around or something, but she didn't want to. So we left. Just coming home, I didn't feel great about, like, how I acted, I guess. I felt a little bit like I just wanted her to enjoy, like, I hope I was good company, basically. I don't know if I was good company, even though it's not, like, because it's not really a date. Well, that's another aspect of it that I want to talk about, but, like, just even for the friend aspect of it, like, I hope I was just good company and I engaged and, like, talked to her. But it's hard, like, to talk to somebody for 2 hours. I just felt like, I don't know, what are you supposed to, I don't know, I'm not good at interacting, because I know the therapist is like, oh, just ask questions, but, so I came up with some questions to ask, and I asked her, but then it starts to feel kind of like an interview, or like a deposition or something. Like, oh, how is your job, and how is this, and how is that, and how is that? Like, you're grilling them. Like, if you just keep asking questions over and over again. I've always had a problem, like, with the next part, which is just, like, flow. You say something, I say something. It's not a question. Like, I ask you a question, you say something, then I say something. Like, I was doing decently at the beginning, being like, oh, how is your job? And then she would say something. It was like, oh, how was that? And then I would say she would say something else, and then I'd ask her another question, like, oh, is that like this, or is that like that? But I feel like what I want is to feel some kind of a connection. Like, I just never ever feel like I'm showing myself. Like, this is me, and oh, you like me. It's always just like, let me just ask you a question, and then let me answer a question. Like, I don't know how to do. What am I not feeling? Because I did talk about, like, my job, and I even talked about, like, oh, my last job was stressful, and, like, I didn't like my boss or whatever, but I didn't feel something I'm missing. What am I missing? I wasn't funny. Is that it? I didn't really make any jokes or anything. I think that's part of it. It's like I'm not joking. I know the therapist would be like, oh, you only met her one time, so how are you gonna... It's true. Whenever the therapist tells me that, the next thing they always say is like, well, the next time you'll be a little bit more comfortable, and the next time you'll be even more comfortable. I'm like, okay, fine, if you say so, but I've never experienced that. I'm never more comfortable. How long have I known my parents? It's not how it works. I'm doing something wrong that I'm not. I'm not like in the moment or something. So I'll tell you what we did. We had lunch at this place called the Whisk Baking Company. It was a pretty nice place. I had a turkey sandwich, and she had a salad or that. It's good. Like, I know after, this is only the second time I've tried this. After like a year or two of doing this, obviously I can look back and be like, oh, you've gotten better, or you're more comfortable, but in the moments that doesn't feel good. It's just like you're not interesting and you're not funny and and she drove. It took her an hour and a half to drive here. So I was just like, I hope it was worth it for her to meet this schmuck. And I don't know. I'm just like, was that worth it? You drove for 3 hours today just to meet me and eat, and like that's how you spent your Saturday? I hope it was okay. I sent her a text back to be like, oh, I had a nice time. So I guess I'm hoping she texts me back like, oh, I had a good time too. So I guess I could talk about like, this wasn't really a date. It was just kind of like two people who were friends meeting, which is good. Like I never experienced that before. But if I kind of imagine it, if it was a date, would anything be different? Probably not. So that makes me feel bad too. Like if it was a date, I wouldn't have done well at that either. What would I have done in that date to make her like me? Nothing. Did I like her? I don't know. I mean, I definitely didn't feel the extra thing. And I kind of mentioned that the extra thing to me is comfort and like, I like her. And like, this is embarrassing to say probably. But like I noticed she had makeup on. I mean, I know everybody, like every woman in the world wears makeup, and I know it wasn't for me, it was for her to feel nice. But this was pretty much the only thing she was doing today. And it's something that I've never really experienced before, is like I'm sure the Tinder girl wore makeup too, but this girl, I noticed she had like sparkly like stuff on her cheeks, and she had like the eyeliner with the swoopy thing, the wings. And it felt kind of nice to be like, oh, she did that for me. Because I never really experienced that before. To someone, like, she wanted to look nice. I know she wanted to look nice for herself. Like me, I wanted to look nice. I wanted my hair, and I wanted these pimples to go away. Which ones? These ones. All of them. My whole face. Should I wear makeup? I bought, this is a weird tangent, but like I recently bought under eye cream because I'm pretty self-conscious recently about my eyes, my baggy eyes. I don't think it'll do anything, but I guess that is a line. For some reason, it's a line I won't cross of wearing makeup. Because like you can buy under eye makeup to just kind of conceal, like concealer, I guess. Even for pimples too. But I'm like, that's a line I can't cross because I don't know. What am I going to do? Wear makeup for the rest of my life? I can't cross that line. Just accept the eye bags, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing to admit, or not, I don't know. Just kind of embarrassing to talk about that. she wanted to look nice for me, and that felt nice. I just hope I didn't make her be like, I got all this makeup on for nothing. This guy can't even talk to me. There were maybe 4 or 5 times in the 2 hours where we were talking and it was kind of my turn to talk. It wasn't like she asked a question, but like she had talked a bunch and then there was just a space for talking, and I'm like, okay, I should be talking right now. And I didn't really say much. But she told me she's a little bit introverted, so I'm like, okay, if I can kind of converse with an introverted person, maybe just what I need to do is find an extroverted person. And then they'll fill those gaps, and then I can just... But it's hard to, because maybe the extroverted person will just take over for the whole time. And I don't want that, because then I can't share myself at all. But I'm not crying, which is good. I guess I didn't have the expectations of like a date and like, oh, let's go on another date. It's just like 2 friends meeting, and maybe we'll meet again in a couple weeks or a month or whatever. And I liked her. She's a very nice person. Yeah, I don't feel the extra thing with her that I want to like. But is part of that on me? Is part of that like, in order to feel that comfort, do I need to be doing something extra or something different to feel like more than just liking somebody, to be like, oh, I want to date this person and maybe even marry them? The therapist would be probably happy with me just going, but of course I want to be better. I want to nail it. I want to be funny and interesting, and I want her to be like, when she leaves, to be like, that was the most fun 2 hours I've ever spent. How do I get to that point? I don't know. I just gotta like dress up as a clown and put on a little nose and be like, oh, I'm wacky. I'm so wacky. Ooh. No, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want me to do. I shared some personal stuff with her, like my job stuff. I don't know. I guess maybe part of it is like, I wish I had been more personal. But what are you gonna say? Like, it's the first time I met her. She told me, I don't know. For some reason, I just don't get much out of learning about people. Like, I learned a lot about her. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now what? What do I do with that information? It's like, okay, fine, you're like a cool, interesting person. Okay, whatever. I don't know what to do with that. That doesn't make me feel any... It doesn't make me feel like any better or something. I don't really have any greater point to make. Just wanted to talk through how it went. I don't know. I didn't feel anything extra, but like, am I just not opening myself up to feelings? Like, I'm not feeling anything right now. If I really liked her and we met for 2 hours, right now I would be like on some kind of like a high or something, right? I'd be like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, and like, I kind of sucked and I didn't talk well, but like, I really like her. But am I just not opening up myself to that emotion, or is it just like, oh, I like her, she's a good person, but that's it, and maybe we'll eat lunch again next week or month or something, and she'll tell me about how her life's going. It's hard. It's like a lot of people that you meet online, seems like they are kind of introverted, like me, but I feel like I need to meet people who are extroverted and be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this thing, you want to come with me? Or, hey, like, But those people like aren't online really for kind of obvious reasons, because they're out in the world doing stuff. But I went, like this morning I was looking at my pimples and I'm like, they're bad. But I still went. And I'm going to this, like, it's a white elephant gift thing at the church tonight. So, I'm doing stuff. I'm trying. Just gotta keep trying to do stuff. Obviously you can't keep doing these things with the goal of, like, the goal is just has to be to do the thing. It can't be anything else, because you just can't be expecting anything to come out of this. You just have to do it. There is no goal except to just do it. I've been having some trouble with the apps, the dating apps. I haven't been matching with anybody, which is fine. I deleted Tinder because I'm just like, Tinder's a dumpster fire. I'm done with Tinder. This girl, I talk about it in one of my videos, the video where I curse. I haven't posted that one yet, but I matched with somebody who was just kind of like mean to me. And she's kind of like, your profile's stupid. And then I was just like, okay, I'm just deleting Tinder. I haven't matched with anybody, and the only person I matched with is like bullying me. So I'm done. So we'll see. I mean, I'm done with Tinder, but I did Match.com. But nobody likes me there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week. And it's almost Christmas. I guess I'll go back home for Christmas, maybe. I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? You want me to talk about Christmas stuff? I could do that next week, too. I didn't really mention the people who commented last week. I'll just... Every week I should just give them a little shout out. It's the same 3 people as last week. Gladys, Vault, and Mark were the 3 people who commented this past week, and they're all so nice, so I just have to say, like, thank you if you're watching at all. And it's okay if you don't. And Gladys, if you're watching this one, you have to make your YouTube channel. I mean, do like vlogs. I like vlogs, especially if you talk about like social anxiety. I would definitely watch that. And Mark, you could do it too. Mark is, I don't know if he wants me to share this, but he's like an amazing poet. I don't know. He's like a songwriter and stuff. He seems like a pretty cool guy. I haven't talked to him that much, but he says nice things to me, so he must be a good person. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll just keep trying. Every day, keep trying something. I met a girl for lunch. Why doesn't that feel like a bigger deal? I've just kind of deadened my soul to the whole thing. Because if I had done this 10 years ago, I would have been feeling a lot of stuff. But, well, when I met the Tinder girl, I felt a lot of stuff. But even if I had just, like, met a girl 10 years ago as a friend thing, I would have been thinking about it for, like, the next month. Like, oh my gosh, someone is a friend, I have a friend. It just doesn't feel like a big deal. I made such a big deal about having friends when I was younger, and not, or lack thereof. really kind of bummed me out to not have friends. It did. But now, this girl, she's my friend. We talked 3 times. We met for lunch. I have a friend. Vault's my friend, right, Vault? We're friends. I have friends. I need to say that out loud more. I'm so used to not having friends that I just need to say, like, you have a friend that you just met. What do you mean you don't have friends? But anyway, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.